Confucianism is all about that. It's all connected. We're not here just alone, you know. Now, how about this? Xin Shi is. So you see the client on Monday, you see the client Wednesday. It's like you see the client on Wednesday as if you see them for the first time. You do everything in preparation for yourself to see them the second time. You're not like, oh, little relax. You are still that person. Beginners, you have the mind of a beginner to be present for that person. So just because you saw them before, you can be a little more relaxed and, you know, put my feet on the table and let my toes wiggle and da-da-da. You know, it's not a good idea. Keep your feet on the ground. Do your best not to show this sort of that part. Do not please shake hands unless they put their hand out. They will just bow. So touching is a no-no a lot in Asian culture. Please, no touching is the way. But when they bow, it's like a touch, or they're not like they're not in the head. It's the same kind of thing. So the beginner's mind is this wonderful way of what they call in Japan for like, it's kind of like beginning to prevent burnout. I mean, they don't say that. But when you work an assembly line, let's say in Toyota, and you're putting doors on, you put every door on if it's like the first door you're putting on. The next door. The first. So everything is done with that beginner's mind thinking. It's, you know, you have the second child, it's like the first child. You know, you have the first date is like the second date, or, you know, this kind of way. Or you're inviting them over to your house the second time, it's like their first time. Everything is done in that sort of mannerly kind of way. And there's you know, there's lots of kind of like yes and no answer sometimes. No, I don't know. No. That's all. No. There's no movement in the head. No. Now what do you do? There is no. Or there is yes. You know about eye contact. So when I was at Santa Clara University first I got an MFT license when I was getting my master's, and I take this first class called communication, and the teacher came up and she says, you know, you're doing okay, but you got very poor eye contact. And she was very, you know, fairly loud, and I was really embarrassed because I didn't know, like, what the heck is that? I thought. It was very foreign to me. I didn't know, like, there's such a thing as eye contact. You know, like, what is it? And then you read the diagnostic manual of DSM-4, and you see it like it's all over the place in there. That it's used, we use it a lot here in diagnostic. But when you see foreigner, it's sort of like, you know, you work with adolescents, you know, adolescents. Oh, I'm fine. Yes. That's okay. Yeah. No? Yeah. You know, it's beautiful how they do it. I mean, they're so creative, you know, and it happens very suddenly. You know, they go from 11 years old to 11 and a half. It's fine. Yes. The dirty ceiling you got here. Did you ever think about cleaning it? What about this one? She. 4. In Asia, especially in Japan and China. The characters for she means 4 in Japanese, it also means the same in Chinese, is that it's the same character for death. So, like room 4, you wouldn't have room 4 in your office, you would not have fourth floor. Because it's the same word for dead. At one time, I had to go to hospital to meet with the nurses because they got a woman who came in, and the only room that was available was room 4. She refused to go in to deliver her baby. And of course, they didn't know. They sort of forced her. The baby was born dead, and it just was awful. The husband comes, and the English was, they were just very, very new for some. I don't know if they were on a vacation or what, and it just created an awful chaos for the family. They were sort of like, and remember, it's sort of like they kill their baby. They said. So what it is now they have to go kill themselves. So this was create enormous fear. I mean, they didn't know that, but you can imagine inside their thinking, they're just going to go home and kill themselves. They cannot live with this. They allow this. Anybody heard of that before? About number 4? Mm-hmm. It is a big no-no in Japan and China. Number 4. Mm. So, for example, if you have a room 4 in your office, and they come, they may turn around and leave. So I just want to mention, like, or this kind of thing. So this family, 2 years later, they come back. Same thing happened. It was like emergency delivery, room 4. It's the same hospital. She refused. They delivered the baby in the hallway. Baby was okay. And they had rescued sort of like their place in life. To that baby was now first baby. So this culture about numbers is a huge part. Numbers. If it's number 8, for example, is a very good number for Chinese. 8 is a number. 52 is another number. 52 years old. Goju means 52 is on your 52nd birthday. If you had no illnesses and no troubles, like no divorce, no crisis, no trauma, it can mean that your ancestors, anything that they did bad, they have already paid for it. You are free, and the ancestors behind you are free. But if you come with a problem before your 52nd, so in terms of Japanese is like you're really like 1 year old when you're born. So this could be, the person could be actually 51 in terms of, or 53. So that 52nd birthday, anyway, he got in some trouble at work. He was very traumatized. He wasn't 52 yet, just getting close to his birthday. And it was enormous. It's like, what did my ancestors do? What could they have possibly done? So we talk about Native American ancestors, other cultures, but ancestral connection. This is so much in the world of the ancestral that so I treated him like with tender, loving care love. Because in Asia, when there's trauma, always concerned about suicide. I mean, that is the bell that goes up for me. It's sort of mental health, some betrayal, or I betrayed my family, something happened. I got drunk at work, and I did something I shouldn't have done. Real dangerous. Suicide. So, it's to travel with the pain of the person, just be ready to travel. They have come to see you, and that is like the huge apart. So they need to do something. So many times they have altar. They have an altar in their home, and in the Obonodoro in August or July, they remember that person to find a way through rice to make peace, to heal that ancestral. It's not the end of the world like for them, but they will do something. It's sort of like mentioned about if you think your house is haunted, to cover the mirrors, turn the lights on, leave the back door unopen, front door open some windows, so let the spirit get a chance to leave, in that way. It's the same kind of way in Shi, even that delivery, or in 52, that I will do something to clean up the family for the future. So when we went to China that time, there was, in one place over the door, there was a Chinese character. In American English, it would mean, it's crisis, let's fix it. In Chinese English, it's crisis, opportunity for change. So this is the way they see crisis. They see crisis, something happens to us. They see it's an opportunity. You're not going to get thrown off guard just by crisis. It's an opportunity to make some change, the way they see the crisis. As suicide happens, it's a change. A divorce happens, it's that. So now in India, it's completely different. Like, it's okay for the man sometimes to get a divorce, but the woman has no right to leave me. It's just like so shocking for when the immigrants come here and the wife then starts filing for divorce because of maybe domestic violence or something is occurring. So this part about the commitment. But I wanted to just give you this character. There is like two characters. First character means danger. The second one means opportunity. So it's the inside that's talking. It's the inside. So there's really nothing to fix. An earthquake happens. It's an opportunity to build a new road and update it, kind of thing. So it's this ongoing. So you think like, my goodness, what happens to the grief? It's a part of the grief. It's to build a new road for the new children and the new people that's coming into the city. It's kind of like a different look, isn't it? How that is, So the grief is the monument to the dead is really the update of the new freeway or the new house, in that way. So in Japan, where the earthquake is now, where they had, for the first time, who came across the water to the Japanese? China, and gave them hundreds and hundreds of tins. That's never happened before. How that earthquake had brought peace across the water from China. Because there's been always so much tension since the war, since the Manchuria crisis that happened. They bring over just a great, like, family tents. It's just unbelievable that they come across completely different than they ever had before. And that's what deaths sometimes occur and crisis happen. This crisis happens, and what happens, there is a peace treaty without a signature. You act according to, you don't need to say it, you just act. You show your love by the way you act. So that's how, like, say, they would show their love for their children. They don't say, oh, great, you did an A. It's expected of you. There's no comment about getting an A. It's just, I will help you to continue to get an A for the next exam. So they continue. This love that they bring is to get the child to have a better opportunity than they had.